everybody. Thanks for joining us today in our Sabbath School vlog. We're going to try something new with our format. My schedule is getting kind of tight, especially for the next 2 weeks. I'll be pretty busy, but I don't want to drop the ball with our lessons. So what we're going to try to do is condense each day's study to just a thought of the day, just a nugget of truth, if you will. And through Saturday till Thursday, and then on Friday we'll have a more formal class setting where we'll have the petitions, we'll have a little bit more in-depth review of the entire lesson. Well, of course, we'll have the memory verse boys presentation of the memory verse, and take our time to just maybe devote 15 minutes to the review of the lesson. And on a daily basis, just about 5 minutes, kind of bring out the main idea of the lesson and everything that was the main idea that they wanted to teach. I know that we're living busy lives, everyone's on the go, and I just want to encourage you while you're going through the day with these vlogs to study your lesson. Take the time to do that. And I'll just kind of be a support throughout the week. And for those of you that have questions, feel free to post them. I have more than enough time to do that. And then on Friday, we'll just have again that formal class. Today's study for Sunday, April 21st is entitled Crimes Against Humanity. And the main idea of this today's lesson, I believe, is just being a good neighbor. With the memory text that I used that you can kind of take with you today is Luke chapter 6 verse 31, which is, do unto others what you would have them do unto you. The main question is, why can't we all be friends? Why can't we treat each other good? The nations that are described in the book of Amos were being judged not just because they were mistreating God's people, because Israel and Judah themselves were being included in the judgments. They were being judged because they were just breaking universal human principles on how we should interact with each other. They were being very, very bad neighbors, very malicious, backbiting, slandering, backstabbing. They were all going out of the way to mistreat each other. And God takes notice of that. They were breaking promises that they had made, oaths, alliances, and this really got God upset. He stands as a defender of justice, and He will hold nations accountable for how they interact with their brother nations. In this particular sense, the nation that was mentioned in the lesson was the nation of Tyre. They were this island merchant nation that was heavily fortified, and they had made different alliances with their neighbors, and amongst who was Israel. They actually had a brotherhood oath with Israel, where the king of Tyre had even called Solomon their brother. They were to treat each other like more than friends, but as brothers. But they broke that oath in such a way where they took Israel captive and handed them over to the Edomites, who were sworn enemies of Israel. And when they handed over the Israelites to the Edomites suffered cruel, humiliating sufferings by the hand of the Edomites. And God held Tyre accountable for the mistreatings that they had suffered, because they were accomplices by handing Israel over. We have many relationships that we are being held accountable for in our everyday life. The relationships that exist within society, with our government, with our jobs, our co-workers, with our families, with our wives. And God places special notice on the way we interact with each other. The nations had reasons to be upset with each other. But just because you're upset doesn't give you the right to make someone's life miserable. And it's true for our relationships. Think about this. You're going to make someone mad in your lifetime. Sometimes they're going to have a reason, a good reason. Sometimes they're not. How would you like those people to treat you? Would you like them to get you back? To scream at you, put you in your place? Or to have mercy and try to understand where you're coming from? Or would you want them to make your life miserable? The same way, we're going to have to count on people in this world. We can't make it alone. People are going to have to go out of the way. They're going to have to sacrifice to help us out. Would you want them to go back on their word? People that you're trusting on to just change their mind and forget about you? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. God pays special attention again on how we treat each other. Not only being accomplices by treating people bad, but we can be accomplices when we don't treat people good. The devil is out like a roaring lion seeking on whom he can consume. And if we do not go and try to help these folks, when we know the source of true help, which is Jesus Christ, God will hold us accountable. He will hold us accountable for withholding potential source of salvation, opportunities that have been wasted. One of the major commitments that we have in our lives is that of a marriage. How are you holding up with your oaths and your alliances with your spouse? When we got married, we made an oath, not telling God, now I found the person that will make me happy. But our oath before the Lord is, now I found the person that I will make happy. How are you doing with your oath? How are you taking care of God's child? As you go throughout your day, kind of notice the people around you. Notice their sufferings. Notice their countenance. See if they're having a bad day. And see how you can be a good neighbor. What can you do? Has God given you any opportunities today? I leave you with this thought. Thanks for joining us. Have yourself a fantastic day. Get a lot done. And I will be with you guys tomorrow. Thank you.